All right, now shout out to Daniel Bideau with the Buy Me a Coffee donation request, man. So he giving us more history behind the Beatles with the Beatles and Billy Preston, Hero of Get Back and Let It Be. So the last reaction we did was telling a little bit more about Billy Preston's life and what he accomplished. So shout out to him for doing that one. This one is the Beatles Words of Wisdom YouTube channels, man. So I'm gonna have links to their channel in the description as well to creditate them for this one. And if you guys want to go over there and show them some love, tell them that Mug sent you. All right. So with that being said, let's get it. Let's get it.
Good to see you. Fine, good to see you. Good to see you.
That's the moment on the 22nd of January 1969 when one William Everett Preston walks into Savile Row as captured by Michael Lindsay Hogg's cameras. It's certainly a pivotal moment in those Get Back sessions. The mood improves immediately, and any squabbling is put to one side as all four Beatles make Billy feel relaxed and at home.
Oh, yeah. They definitely know how to be professional about it, even though they having all of their in squabbling amongst themselves. But when Billy Preston show up, hey, you got to maintain some sort of professionalism. Otherwise, anything Billy Preston say coming out of those sessions could be in the media. So I get that part. But I think overall, I think some of the Beatles were just happy to see Guy. You know what I'm saying?
As George remarked in the anthology,
it's interesting to see how people behave nicely when you bring a guest in. Straight away, it just became 100% improvement in the vibe in the room.
adding Billy's exquisite electric piano rounds out the Beatles' sound. Everyone's energy levels move up a gear, prompting an infused John to proclaim,
"You're in the group." Yes. And the thing is, we got Billy now.
Is he going to stay with you?
Yeah, well, sure. He's the guy, and that solves a lot. And,
so that brings a lot more context to what John was talking about. That they were talking about in a previous reaction we did, where John wanted to bring in Billy to the group because of how much improvement that he did bring to the group. So he was like, when he said you're in the group, he wasn't joking. Like, you're literally in the group. So yeah. And
sure, he's the guy, and that solves a lot. And,
after the shortest of introductions, Billy sits down on the electric piano and starts jamming with the Beatles.
every number's got a piano part or a... And normally we overdub it, you know. But this time we want to do it live.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I mean, just live to ourselves.
Yeah.
Straight off, one number after the other. And that means having somebody in on scene, so if you'd like to do that, you're welcome.
Sure, beautiful.
Right, and then you'd be on the album.
You're kidding?
Well, that's good, then. We've taped a few. The thing is to get some tapes made of what we'd done and let him have a listen.
He'd probably just pick them up much quicker here in Australia.
Yeah, just
There was even a short discussion led by John about Billy joining the Beatles. An excited George suggested the concept of the Beatles & Co., inviting luminaries such as Dylan to join in. Any serious discussion was cut short by the pragmatic Paul, who reminded them how hard it was to make decisions with just four of them in the group. Billy Preston was a self-taught child prodigy, and by the age of 3, he was playing in church. By 11, he appeared on Nat King Cole's NBC show, playing and singing Blueberry Hill.
that's crazy. Playing the piano at 3 is diabolical. Bro, Billy Preston is a reincarnation of somebody, and we don't know who it is. He's a reincarnation, bro.
Shortly after, Billy made his way onto the big screen, appearing in 1958's St. Louis Blues, the W.C. Handy biopic.
Gonna see my
The Beatles first became friends with Billy in Hamburg when he was touring with Little Richard and Sam Cooke. Billy was just 15, so closest in age to George. Billy was also there when the Beatles played San Francisco, joining the after-show party. However, it wasn't until Ray Charles toured Europe and George spotted Billy playing at the Lyceum Ballroom in London when things really took off. Following the Lyceum gig, George left a note for Billy to call him, and he was immediately asked to come down to Savile Row. There he got an invitation to jam with the band. Get Back was the first single to credit another artist together with the Beatles, excluding Tony Sheridan, and it was at special request from the group that Billy's name graced the Apple label on both sides of the Get Back 45.
Facts. I appreciate that. That they did that. The whole thing with the Beatles and co, I think that would have been really good for the band. Each album maybe to bring a guest person on the album and to boost their career as well as bring some different flavor to the band. I think some decisions were made within the Beatles to not really, there was some egos. There had to be some egos. And John, I think that was John's issue, is that John wanted to keep the band together. So he was making decisions to keep the band together, but other people might have been making decisions to not keep the band together, you know? So that's a different thing.
Billy would also go on to play on 2 tracks on Abbey Road, contributing organ to I Want You, She's So Heavy and Something. After the Beatles split, Billy also recorded with John, George and Ringo on their solo albums and was a standout soloist on the concert for Bangladesh. He also played piano, organ, clavinet and various synthesizers for the Rolling Stones on Sticky Fingers, Exile on Main Street, Goat's Head Soup, It's Only Rock and Roll and Black and Blue. Billy's solo career hit the big time in 1972 with Outer Space, an instrumental which got to number 2 on Billboard. Over the next 2 years, Billy had US chart-topping singles with Will It Go Round in Circles, which even displaced George's Give Me Love, Give Me Peace on Earth at the top, and Nothing from Nothing. Each of these 3 singles sold in excess of 1 million copies. Billy's last major success came at Motown in 1979 with You, I'm Born Again, a duet with Cyrita Wright, which became an international hit, reaching number 4 on Billboard and number 2 in the UK.
Woman, don't you know with you I'm born again?
Sadly, Billy's career took a nosedive in the 1980s when he became addicted to cocaine and alcohol. He died
Kind of saying the same thing the last video said.
on the 6th of June 2006 in Scottsdale, Arizona. But let's remember him at his zenith as an energetic 22-year-old grooving out with the Fab Four in Apple's basement and on the rooftop.
It's great.
And it seemed like he knew exactly what pocket to play in, you know what I mean? So that's a little bit more about Billy Preston on the Beatles. It was a lot of information we already knew, but just explaining in more in detail about how much influence he had on the Beatles. But I like that picture of John telling him why he's in the group and why he needs to be in the group. And I think Billy Preston could have helped the Beatles stay alive probably for another decade, maybe. You never know. But with that being said, post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Shout out to Daniel Bildo, and I'll catch you guys at another one, all right?